The person you thought was meant for you just walked into someone else's life. While you were waiting, believing, and holding on to hope, they were already moving forward with another soul. It stings differently when you realize the divine plan might not include the ending you rehearsed 1,000 times in your mind. But what if I told you that this isn't abandonment, but redirection? By the end of this message, you'll understand exactly why the universe orchestrated this shift, and you'll discover 3 profound spiritual truths that will transform how you see your own future. Stay with me. Welcome back to the Angel Message Tarot channel, where we decode the divine whispers the universe is sending directly to your heart. If this is your first time here, I'm so grateful you found your way to us. This message came through with urgent clarity because someone watching right now desperately needs to hear it. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss a divine message, crafted specifically for moments like these. And right now, I want you to type in the comment section below, I receive, or I believe. When you declare these words, you're opening your spiritual channels to receive what the angels have been trying to communicate with you. Your words carry energy, and this channel is amplified by your participation. Let's be completely honest about something. You're sitting with this weight right now because you invested your heart in a narrative that seemed divinely written. The connection felt too perfect, too orchestrated by fate to be anything other than destiny. You made space in your life. You rearranged your future to accommodate this person. You prayed about it, meditated on it, maybe even consulted tarot or oracle cards about it. And somewhere along the journey, you believed with such conviction that this was your person that the possibility of them choosing differently didn't even exist in your consciousness. That's not weakness. That's what it looks like when you love with your whole spiritual being. But here's what the angels want you to know immediately, and this is crucial. Their movement doesn't mean your divinity failed. It means your higher self recognized something your ego didn't want to see. When someone is meant to stay, the universe creates continuity. When someone is meant to be a teacher, a catalyst, or a beautiful chapter that closes, the universe creates the exact conditions for them to move on. This isn't punishment. This is precision. The cosmic forces that run through everything are far too intelligent to make mistakes about who belongs. In your inner circle long term, let me share something the spiritual realm showed me about this exact situation. Every soul comes into your life carrying either a lesson or a legacy. Some people are sent to expand your capacity to love, to show you how to hold vulnerability without dissolving. Others come to reveal where you've been abandoning yourself, where you've been tolerating less than what your spirit deserves. And then there are the souls who arrive to test your faith. They show up as potentially the one. They activate your deepest hope, and then they leave. Why? Because the universe is asking you. Do you trust divine timing, or do you only trust what you can control and see? This is where the scripture becomes our anchor. In Jeremiah 29:11, God speaks clearly. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Sit with that for a moment. God isn't saying He has plans for you that might work out. He's declaring with absolute certainty that there are plans that move you toward welfare, toward your actual well-being, not just toward the person you thought you needed. Your soulmate moving on is part of that plan, not a deviation from it. Many of you are struggling right now because you're interpreting this ending as a sign that you're not lovable, not chosen, not worthy of being someone's priority. But I need to redirect your thoughts because this narrative is a spiritual lie that feeds your pain instead of healing it. When someone is divinely aligned with you, they make space for you. They don't waver. They don't keep you on the shelf while they explore other options. The fact that they moved on doesn't reflect your value. It reflects their alignment with a different path. And here's what matters. If they're not meant for you, they shouldn't be for you. Period. Let's talk about what's actually happening on the spiritual plane when someone chooses another person over you. There's a concept in spiritual law called resonance. Everything vibrates at a frequency. You vibrate at a frequency. That person vibrates at a frequency. Sometimes, no matter how much you want those frequencies to harmonize, they're simply not compatible at this moment in the cosmic timeline. That doesn't mean either frequency is wrong. It means they're playing different songs. When they meet someone else and choose them, it's because that person's current frequency matches theirs more closely than yours does right now. This is actually a gift, because it means you're not meant to abandon yourself, contort yourself, or lower your vibration to keep someone who wasn't designed to meet you where you truly are. The universe is protecting you from a partnership that would require constant compromise of your authentic self. You might not see it this way today, but in 6 months, a year, or 5 years, you'll understand. You'll encounter situations where you're so glad you weren't tied to that person's energy, so grateful you were freed to become the fullest expression of who you were meant to be. Proverbs 18:12 tells us something profound. Before a downfall, the heart is haughty, but humility comes before honor. Sometimes the downfall we're experiencing is actually the heart being humbled so that it can rise to genuine honor. The breaking open of your expectations is making room for something real to enter. Here's another layer of truth that might hit different. When your soulmate moves on and someone else fills their place in their own life, they're actually making space for your soulmate to find you. Think about that. Every person who leaves is clearing the way. Every door that closes is redirecting you toward the door that's already waiting to open. You cannot walk into your actual destiny while you're standing in the doorway of someone else's different destination. The universe doesn't allow for that kind of traffic jam. It redirects. It removes obstacles. It creates circumstances that seem painful in the moment, but are actually course corrections. Matthew 6:33 carries this wisdom. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. When you seek the kingdom first, when you get aligned with divine order first, the right people naturally follow. You don't have to convince them. You don't have to hold their hand while they figure out if you're worth staying for. The people who are aligned with your highest good simply show up, and they stay. They show up as family, as friends, as lovers, as collaborators. But they only show up when you're radiating from a place of spiritual wholeness, not from a place of spiritual desperation. And this is where I need to be tender with you, because some of you reading this are in that desperate place right now. You're refreshing their social media. You're analyzing the new relationship. You're trying to figure out what they have that you don't. You're imagining scenarios where they come back, where they realize they made a mistake. And while all of that is completely human and understandable, I need to tell you that this energy is like throwing your spiritual power into a black hole. It doesn't come back. It doesn't create change. It just depletes you further. What you need to do right now is perform an act of spiritual closure. This doesn't mean you never think of them again, or that you erase the memories. It means you consciously release your grip on the outcome. It means you stop trying to control the narrative of their life and return your attention entirely to the narrative of your own evolution. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." A new thing is being created in your life right now, but you have to perceive it. You have to look for it. You can't perceive your new thing if your eyes are still fixed on the old thing. Here's what the angels specifically want you to understand about the spiritual mechanics of this situation. When someone enters our life and we experience that depth of connection, that feeling of recognition, there's a reason for it. That connection is real. It's not something you imagined or manufactured. But not every soul we're meant to deeply connect with is meant to stay. Some souls are sent to you at specific points in your growth journey to teach you, to activate something within you, to prepare you for what comes next. Your soulmate who moved on was potentially that kind of soul. They came, they taught, they activated, and now they're leaving so that someone who can be the lasting presence you deserve can eventually arrive. Think of it like education. You have teachers in elementary school, then middle school, then high school, then college. Each teacher profoundly impacts you. Some of them change your life, but they're not meant to follow you through every grade. They've delivered their curriculum. You've learned what you needed to learn. And now you move on to the next teacher who has different wisdom to share. Your soulmate might have been a teacher for this season. And the pain you're feeling isn't because they were the only teacher who mattered. It's because you're grieving the loss of their presence while also grieving the loss of the story you told yourself about how long they'd stay. I want to shift something in your mind right now. Instead of asking, "Why did they leave me?" ask, "What am I being called to become now that I'm free?" This reframes everything. It moves you from victim to active participant in your own evolution. And that shift in perspective is where genuine healing begins. Psalm 35 reminds us that weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. You're in the night right now. The weeping is appropriate. The grief is valid. But the morning is coming. Rejoicing is coming, but you have to let the night do its work without fighting it so hard. Some of you are going to read this and think I'm being insensitive to your pain. I'm not. I'm redirecting it. I'm taking the raw material of your anguish and showing you how to forge it into wisdom. Because pain untransformed becomes bitterness. Pain transformed becomes strength. The universe is offering you the opportunity right now to take this experience and alchemize it into something that serves your next chapter. Your soulmate moved on, yes, but you're not meant to stay. You're meant to move on too. You're meant to move into a new version of yourself that has integrated this experience, learned from it, and is now calibrated differently. Let me tell you what I'm seeing spiritually about your immediate future. Within the next 3 to 6 months, you're going to experience moments of unexpected peace. You'll be doing something completely ordinary, and suddenly you'll realize you didn't think about them. You'll go an hour, then an afternoon, then a whole day without checking to see what they're doing or who they're with. These moments aren't significant at first, but they're incredibly significant spiritually. They're the evidence that you're healing. They're proof that the attachment is loosening. And then one day you'll run into them, or you'll see them on social media, and instead of the sharp pain you expect, you'll feel nothing. Or worse, you'll feel indifference. And that will confirm what I'm telling you now. They were always meant to be a chapter, not your whole book. Proverbs 3:5 and 3:6 tell us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." Your path is being made straight right now. It doesn't look straight. It looks crooked and painful and wrong. But the universe is clearing away what doesn't belong so that what does belong can find you. You don't need to understand it yet. You just need to trust it. And every time you feel the urge to reach out to them, every time you want to check if they're happy with someone else, instead turn that impulse into a prayer. Turn it into a meditation. Turn it into an act of self-love. Every energy you reclaim from them is energy you're reinvesting in yourself. Now I want to address something specific because I'm picking up on the energy of several people watching this. Some of you are wondering if you made a mistake. You're wondering if you could have done something differently that would have changed the outcome. You're replaying conversations, reinterpreting moments, and trying to find the fault line where it all cracked. Stop. This is spiritual quicksand. The only thing that could have changed the outcome is if they were meant to stay. And they weren't. You cannot love someone into destiny. You cannot be good enough, small enough, big enough, or anything enough to make someone choose you if they're not aligned with choosing you. That's not your responsibility, and taking that responsibility is you claiming ownership over something that was never yours to control. Ephesians 4:31 says, "Get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger, brawling and slander, and every form of malice." This is the verse for right now. Because the energy that's most tempting to grab hold of when we're hurt is anger and bitterness. It feels powerful. It feels like it gives us control back. But it's actually poison that we drink while hoping the other person gets sick. Let it go. All of it. The anger at them, the bitterness about the timing, the malice toward the new person in their life. Let it go. Because every moment you hold on to it is a moment you're not healing. Here's what I want you to understand about the broader spiritual architecture of your life. You are in relationship with divine purpose. Everything that happens, including this heartbreak, is in service of that purpose. Your soulmate was part of that divine purpose for a time. They taught you something. They opened something in you. They revealed something about who you are. And now they're gone because the lesson is complete. The universe doesn't keep redundant teachers around. It cycles them through. And it does this with perfect precision because the divine is infinitely more intelligent than you are, infinitely more wise about what you need and when you need it. Some of you reading this are going to experience something in the next few weeks that confirms this message. You're going to meet someone who makes you think of this person you lost, but this new person will be different in a way that matters. They'll be present where your soulmate was distant. They'll choose you where your soulmate chose away. Or they might not be romantic at all. They might be a friend, a mentor, a community that appears and suddenly your whole world feels different. Pay attention to those appearances. The universe is saying yes. This is the direction you're meant to go. This is the frequency that's aligned with you right now. And let me tell you something else that nobody talks about. Sometimes the person you thought was your soulmate was actually sent to trigger your growth because you needed that specific trigger. You needed to feel that depth so that you could access that depth within yourself. You needed to experience that loss so that you could develop that strength. You needed this heartbreak so that you could stop making the same patterns, stop accepting breadcrumbs, stop diminishing yourself for someone else's comfort. The universe is ruthless about your growth. It will send exactly what you need, not what you want. Hosea 2:14 says, "Therefore I am now going to allure her. I will lead her into the wilderness and speak tenderly to her." The wilderness you're in right now is actually an invitation. It's the universe saying we need to talk. We need you to understand something about yourself that you couldn't understand before. In this quiet place, in this empty space where your soulmate used to be, something profound is being spoken. Are you listening? Or are you too busy trying to fill the void with their memory, their hope, their possibility? The wilderness is where transformation happens. The wilderness is where you remember who you are, apart from anyone else's validation. I need you to make a commitment to yourself right now. Commit to this process. Commit to letting them go. Commit to trusting that the universe has something better designed for you. Commit to using this time to rebuild yourself, to get reacquainted with your own company, to discover what brings you joy that has nothing to do with another person. This commitment is sacred. This commitment is what separates people who break from this experience and people who become unbreakable. In the next 30 days, I want you to do something specific. Every time you think about them, every time your hand reaches for your phone to check their social media, I want you to instead do one thing that makes you feel alive and present in your own life. Read a book, take a walk, call a friend who loves you, paint, sing, move your body, create, contribute. Every act of showing up for yourself is an act of rebellion against the narrative that you're broken because someone left. You're not broken, you're becoming whole. Luke 12:6 and 12.7 tells us, "Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies? Yet not one of them is forgotten by God. Indeed, the very hairs of your head are all numbered." Don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows. You are worth more than many sparrows. The universe knows your name. The universe is invested in your unfolding. Your soulmate moving on doesn't change that. Nothing changes that. You are forever held in the mind and heart of the infinite. That is your baseline worth. Everything else is just someone else's choice, and their choice doesn't determine your value. As we move toward closing this message, I want you to feel something shift inside you. Feel the weight lifting just slightly. Feel the permission that's being given to you right now to let this person go, without guilt, without regret, without the sense that you failed. You didn't fail. You loved, you trusted, you opened. Those are acts of courage, not failure. And now you're being invited to do something even harder. You're being invited to do those same things with yourself. Before we end, I'm asking you to do something that amplifies this message. If this resonated with you, if something inside you recognized the truth being spoken here, I need you to comment below with a closing faith-based phrase. Type "blessed and ready," or "I am whole," or "divine purpose unfolds," or whatever phrase captures what you're committing to in this moment. When you write those words in the comments, you're declaring to the universe your intention. You're saying yes to what's being offered. You're stepping into your power. And I'm asking you to like this video. Your likes matter because they tell the algorithm that this message needs to reach more people who are hurting right now. More people who need to hear that their soulmate moving on isn't the end of their story. Your like could be the difference between someone else finding this message or continuing to suffer alone. So please, hit that like button. I also want to invite you to subscribe to the Angel Message Tarot channel if you haven't already. We're creating divinely guided messages every single week. Messages that are designed to meet you exactly where you are. When you subscribe and turn on your notifications, you're making sure that whenever we post a new video, you're the first to know. You won't miss a single message the angels are sending your way. Click that subscribe button right now. And finally, I want to mention something important. If you truly love what we're doing here, if these messages are changing your life and healing your heart, consider supporting the channel. You can give super thanks right here on YouTube, or you can donate through our link. Every contribution, no matter the size, goes directly toward creating more spiritual content, more divine messages, more healing for you and for everyone who finds their way here. Your support isn't just appreciated, It's sacred. It's you saying yes to more of this work in the world. Here's the final truth I want to leave you with. Your soulmate moved on, yes. Someone else is filling their place in their own life, yes. But that means you're finally free to move forward too. You're free to become who you're actually meant to be. You're free to find someone who doesn't need space to figure it out. You're free to build a life that doesn't depend on one person's choice to stay. And in that freedom, you're going to discover something surprising. You're going to discover yourself. And that discovery is going to be the greatest love story of your entire life. Thank you for being here. Thank you for opening your heart to this message. Come back and join us again soon for more divine guidance, more spiritual truth, more messages from the angels who are constantly speaking to you. And please share this video with anyone who needs to hear it. Someone you know is hurting right now over a soulmate who moved on. Be the angel that delivers this message to them. I'm sending you divine blessings. I'm sending you clarity. I'm sending you the strength to walk forward into your own destiny. Until we speak again, remember, you are loved. You are guided. You are exactly where you need to be.